welcome here. My name is Liz, and this is the sit down I promised to make in my last video. So I've been on YouTube for a bit, and I've been on Instagram for a bit, and let's take these off. And the only and I've been seeing that it's easier to relate to people when you know their story and where they come from, and you know what they're all about and all those good stuff. And basically, judging from the title, I want to talk about my depression and how it all happened. I feel like I've mentioned this before, but a few years ago, not a few years ago, but in 2012, let's think about this. Yes, in 2012, I was diagnosed with MDD, major depression disorder, and PTSD, so post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. So I think there was also anxiety. No, I don't remember, but yes, I think there was also anxiety. And usually that does go hand in hand with depression, but you can only have anxiety, by the way, and not have depression. So yeah, where to start? Let's start from the beginning, where I grew up. So I grew up in Limpopo, in a small little town called, probably not small anymore, I haven't been there in a while, called Leboahong. And I lived with both my parents until my mom had to work in Gauteng, so she used to travel almost every weekend to come back to Bulogwane, Limpopo, not Bulogwane, to Limpopo, to Leboahong at home, to see us obviously, and be a mom. And yeah, we lived with my dad. We had my aunt live with us as well, my mom's younger sister, and we also had a maid that my parents got to take care of us and also do like house chores and all those things. My dad used to work a lot, you know, he used to come home late, left early, came home late, and even when he came home, he would be in the office working up until like really like early mornings and whatever. So, but yes, this is not about my parents, this is about me. Yes, that's where I grew up. And then fast forward to when I got to grade, this is already so bad, this is already going so well, but when I got to grade, when did I start? Grade 6. I started grade 6 in Gauteng. So we moved in with my mom. It was just me and my sister at first, and then the following year, then my youngest sister came. So also I'm a firstborn to my mom, but not my dad. And I have 2 younger sisters from my dad and my mom. So when I'm referring to my family, I'm going to be referring to the 3 of us, my mom and my dad. I do know my other siblings and I love them very much, but yes, I'm going to be referring to our family being us. So we moved in with my mom, and we started schooling in Gauteng, in Pretoria, and the following year, which was when I was in grade 7, my youngest sister came to live with us, and yeah, yeah. I feel like I don't know what to say. But anyway, in that year when I was in grade 7, my mom and dad started divorce proceedings, and I wouldn't say that it was a very pretty end or a very pretty divorce, but yes, that happened. And honestly, this is my story. They might have a different story about what they went through. My younger sisters might have a different story, but this is my story and what I feel like happened. Okay, that got me to my depression, that ultimately led to my depression. So my dad was diagnosed with depression quite a few when I was still young. I was probably like 7, 8 maybe. So yes. Okay, let's do this before Tsumzo wakes up. So yes, my dad had been diagnosed with it a long time ago. Not that we knew. I only found out actually later on when I started understanding what he was going through and what everything he was going through and what it was. Because it's quite difficult to explain these things to young kids. So I guess that's why they kept it away from us. Okay, now fast forward to when I was in grade 11. My mom basically lost all her jobs, and things were quite tough. And at that time, the only money that we were going through for some months was I still have so much to tell you. So basically, what we were living on was what my dad was paying for maintenance, which was also like close to nothing, and my mom had never raised the maintenance money, with inflation and all those things. So if you are watching this and you have someone going through this, please tell them to go to court and get their maintenance money taken up as much as possible. Please, as much as possible. And because when inflation goes up, people do get like salary increases, and so should maintenance money actually go up, because the cost of living also goes up. So yes, please do that. And so yes, that was the only money we were living on. And we had to downsize a lot of things. We lost our home, and my mom lost basically everything. And I would say that played a big role in my depression as well, because in matric, I was constantly worried about what we're gonna eat, where we're gonna end up. And another thing was we get called to the office a lot, like you didn't pay your school fees, all those things. And I was in boarding school, so it was not cheap at all. So it was not cheap at all, and it did put a lot of strain on me. I feel like during the divorce and after the divorce, I kind of had to step up as a sister, as a firstborn, and kind of protect my younger sisters from everything that was happening. And we have 5 minutes before this battery is also low. Like, what the hell is happening? But I think we have like a good 5 minutes to 10 minutes before it's gonna start acting up. So let me try and say what I need to say. So I feel like that part of my life did play a very big role when it came to adding on to things that actually kind of led to my depression. And now fast forward to varsity. Now it's my last year. I've been on NSFAS for first year and second year. It's my last year. I'm doing my diploma in financial accounting, and NSFAS does not approve because they say that my parents earn enough to pay for my fees. Now I'm worried about the fact that I will not be able to see my marks. My parents cannot pay. They just can't. And now I'm like, what can I do to sort of close the gap so that I try and be at school full time and maybe work, which was probably like not even gonna work, because how do I do school full time and work at the same time? Yes, people do it, but I did not really have the flexibility because my classes did take a lot of my day. And I probably could have worked at a club or something, but I also did not think about that, you know. But yeah, having all those thoughts and thinking about financials, and my parents also started like fighting about it a lot, like no you pay, like it was kind of very ridiculous. Like I was in the middle of everything, and that's where like I just switched off. I felt like I had not dealt with a lot of things. So yeah, my brain literally just shut down, and I stopped going to chill with my friends. From class, I would literally go to my room, close the curtains, sit in the dark, not even watch anything, not even listen to anything, just sit in the dark. I was constantly sleeping as well. I used to miss classes. I was always tired. I was not concentrating. I started failing my tests, from getting distinctions in my first year and second year to failing, which was super crazy. And failing also was kind of like, it was also quite depressing because it was like I'm trying my best, but yeah, I had to then deal with the consequences. I called my dad and I told him that this is what's happening and this is what I'm going through, this is how I'm feeling, like I just wanna die. I don't wanna live anymore. I just feel like I'm not adding any value to anyone's life. You and mommy are always fighting, and like I hate my life. I hate you guys. I hate you guys. Like basically that is what I was going through. Yes, I did have suicidal thoughts. I used to cut myself. I think that's called mutating, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I used to cut myself to feel better. And I was an SEO leader. I had to drop out because I was literally going through a lot. And I was also like a regional SEO leader. And those are things I was quite excited about. And, depression kind of takes over everything, and you just don't see the value of life. And as much as like SEO was there, and God was there, but I in those moments I honestly did not see a way forward. I can't even lie to you. And a lot of people ask like, dude, like when you're sad you just get out of it, but with depression it's really hard to, it literally feels like you're climbing. You can see that there's light, but you're climbing, but you're just not reaching that light, and you it just feels like it's out of reach, and you keep climbing and you're tired and you're fatigued, and you just feel like your efforts are not going anywhere. Basically, that's how I can describe what I was going through. I was not sleeping well, and when I was sleeping, then like I was just oversleeping. So then my dad suggested that I go to Vista, which is a mental institution. What? Oh, okay, no, wait, not mental institution. Um, a wellness and mental facility. Can you guys hear him? Yeah, which is a mental and wellness facility. And I tried to fight it for a very long time, but eventually I decided to go, and I was there for full 21 days. I think after 3 weeks I was actually okay, but I was just like, you know what, it's still school holidays, let me just take the full 21 days and rest. We did have a meeting with both my parents, and I told them what happened, also why I got to that state, and a lot of it was because of the divorce, and also dating back to when I was molested by a family member. And yeah, yeah. Saying that made me think back about a lot of things. A lot of things are playing in my head. So, and then the divorce, and then the school financial state, and also because I was very close to my father, not having that relationship with him anymore since the divorce also played a part on that. And because my mom and dad honestly did not have a good relationship then, I just felt like I was always in the middle, you know. And my mom would say something about my dad. I'm here like, I really love my dad and I really want a relationship with this person, but also at the same time, like, I really want a relationship with this person, but he's not making the effort, or I don't know, a lot of things were just getting lost in people fighting and all of that. But I did my time at the mental and wellness clinic, and it did me some good. I did take pills for a while. I had to take sleeping pills as well. But I remember going out of there and thinking, yes, I'm taking antidepressants and anxiety pills and sleeping pills, but this is not something that I want to see myself doing for a very long time or for the rest of my life. I don't want to depend on them or live on them. And as much as depression is a chemical imbalance, I wanted to make sure that I somehow overcome needing them. And I took all the things and all the lessons that I learned at the hospital to basically just fix whatever was happening. And I worked really hard to get to a place where they reduced my antidepressant what do you call it, prescription, and getting to a place where I actually do not need them. I worked really hard, and I'm not saying that people who still live on pills are pretending. No, they are not. Some people are way worse than I was, and it seems that I was able to actually get through it and actually stop taking my pills. The one thing that did help me with this was actually having a routine. And it might feel like, at first it felt like, I was being very robotic, like, okay, at this time this is what you do. But it helped my brain get into a state of, okay, I know what's coming next, I know what's coming next, I know what's coming next, And as life goes on, obviously you are hit with unexpected things, but when those things do come, then you know that if you stay constant in your routine, you kind of find a way to actually live, and I did. It was honestly not the easiest thing, but it was honestly not the hardest thing as well. I feel like I had gone through a lot more, and because I wanted to work so hard that I don't take those pills anymore, it was very important for me to make sure that I start talking out when I have issues and I don't hold anything in. I stopped being a yes man, trying to please people. That stopped. It took a very long time, and I mean, it's still something I'm working on now, not being a yes man and being a people pleaser. I think that's for everyone, but it's still something I'm working on. So basically, that is what happened, how I overcame that part of my life, that part that is very difficult to look back at. And the problem is that once you are diagnosed, you kind of have it for the rest of your life, and either you have to live on pills, or like me, because I honestly did not want to live on pills, you have to keep working hard every day, programming your mind, that's the right word, programming your mind to kind of know how to deal with things, and how to react to things, and honestly, I do get days where I am honestly like very, 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 very down, but because I worked on actually healing and knowing how to tackle my issues, that's how I'm able to live without pills. That's how I'm able to live without pills and actually go on with life as normal. And one thing I would say that has really helped me a lot when it comes to depression is always keeping a positive mind, like all the time. I think this irritates me a lot because because I always see the good in everything, literally everything and anyone. I always try to give everything the benefit of the doubt, and he calls a spade a spade. He does not take any nonsense, and I guess that's also a good balance, that there's some yin and yang, and I can't imagine both of us being very, very good people. Like, I don't think that would be very functional. But I've also learned that people are bad, people are evil, and most of the time it's not even like your friends or strangers, it's literally your family. And I've had to learn and kind of protect myself from also like those people, and it's so hard to cut family off. But when you need to, you have to. That's something I struggled with a lot because we are kind of raised thinking that blood is thicker than water. But to be honest with you, I feel like if a person gives you respect, then you give them the same respect, and if they don't, then you don't, regardless of age, regardless of a relationship, like how close you are, blood wise, but just a mutual relationship, be it parent as well or not. If you brought me into this world, it does not give you a right to disrespect me. So, but that's something I'm learning. That's something I'm working through. And I hope that you can relate to me like a lot more and a lot better. This is, although I did not really go into detail, but I hope that this shows you that everyone has issues, and you might be going through your issues silently. Please don't. Speak out, speak about it. That's also something I learned because I am a one person who likes keeping things to myself. But speak about it, speak out. But yes, I hope this kind of gives you a glimpse into my life, and yeah, hoping you guys can relate to me, relate a lot better to my life and everything in between. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and have a good day. Yeah, say bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.